What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. If this is your first time being here, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Today's a pretty exciting day because we finally found a build for the channel. I've been looking at a couple cars over the last couple months and I haven't really been able to nail anything down because of inventory issues, shipping delays, all kinds of stuff. And I finally found one. I put a deposit on a car about 3 weeks ago and it finally showed up. So without further ado, let's take a look. All right, guys, so there it is. Again, the 2021 Toyota Supra. This thing is an absolute beast. I've been driving it around for a couple days, and I gotta say, this thing is faster than everyone makes it seem. When that turbo hits, it hits hard. I can't wait to build it. We already have a ton of parts ordered for this thing. So if you're interested in a build like this, hit that subscribe button. Follow along with it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I got a lot of crazy stuff planned. We're gonna do performance upgrades, exterior upgrades, suspension upgrades, exhaust upgrades. Pretty much everything you could think of is gonna happen to this vehicle. And like I said, I already got a lot of it ordered, so it should be showing up pretty soon, and we're gonna start modifying this thing immediately. So why don't we take it for a ride and I'll show you guys what it sounds like. So this is the factory exhaust. That was a startup in sports mode. Like I said, got a ton of stuff ordered for this thing. Exhaust is one of them. Downpipe is on the way. We are gonna go cat free. It should be pretty loud when we finally get the exhaust or the downpipe installed. Then after that, we'll see how much crazier we wanna get with the rest of the exhaust. But until these things are tunable, if you don't know, the 2021s after, I think, March or May of 2020, production date, they are untunable at the moment, so you can't really do anything performance wise. I'm already prepared for the downpipe to throat check engine light. That's just how it is. But a company actually just recently was able to crack the ECUs, so hopefully they bring something to market soon that'll allow everybody with the 2021 after the lock production date to finally tune these cars. These motors are just absolute animals. They can push 500 horsepower with just a couple bolt-ons, a few minor upgrades, and it's pretty crazy. So let's take this thing for a ride, and then when we're done, I already have a mod that we're going to put on this thing to start with, so let's go. All right, guys, so we're in the Supra. As you can see, what we're dealing with here in Arizona, it is 104 and it's 7:07 p.m. so yeah, it's pretty hot. I think it was like 112 today, so let's see what this thing can do. That turbo makes some pretty good noises from the factory, so I'm excited to see what it sounds like when we actually do some modifications to this thing, like the exhaust and the intake and everything. So it should be pretty good, but let's see what we can. It actually burbles pretty good from the factory. I don't know if you can hear that. When we get the other exhaust, it should be even louder. I'm not a huge fan of burbles. This is like my first turbo car, so it's kind of all new to me, but I gotta say, so far I'm loving this thing. It's absolutely insane. I think the 380 horsepower from the factory is a little underrated. I think I saw these things dynoing like just a little over 400 at the wheels, so this thing's fast. It's really fast. I'm excited once this thing's tuned. My goal early on is to push this thing up to about 550 or so horsepower. I heard the Transmission is like the limiting factor. They start to slip around 600 foot-pounds of torque. So we'll just have to see what we can do with it. I don't even know if it'll have traction at 600 wheel horsepower, but absolutely insane. But yeah, this thing, I don't know why people hate on it for being a BMW. Honestly, I mean, there is a lot of BMW in here, like the shifter and all the infotainment center and controls and everything, but honestly, it's a nice car. I mean, BMW makes some really nice cars, and I think anybody who hates on this thing just doesn't really appreciate it. Once you drive this thing, you'll completely change your opinion about it. It's just so fast. But I mean, it has a straight 6. I know a lot of the 2JZ guys are like, oh, you know, it's not a Toyota motor, but honestly, I mean, BMW just did such a great job. I don't think it could have been any better. But that's just my opinion. I know there's a lot of die-hard Mark IV guys out there that are just always going to hate on this thing. A lot of Toyota fanboys that are just always going to hate on this thing. But honestly, once you drive it, it just completely changes your opinion of this car. So there'll be more to come. Let's head back to the shop and do our first modification of this thing. So I will see you guys in a second. All right, guys, so we just got back to the shop. Like I said, I already have a modification for this thing that we're going to be putting on right now. You know, what kind of reveal video would it be without doing something? One of the biggest complaints I saw on the forums was actually the wheel tuck. You can see the side profile shot. That tire just sits way too far in there. So we actually picked up some wheel spacers. We got some 13mm for the front and 15mm for the rear. We're gonna go ahead and throw those things on and see if we can just give this thing just a little bit better stance. And of course, this is just temporary until we do something about these stock wheels. So let's get to it. These are the 15mm spacers for the back. I hope these aren't too much, but I think they're going to be perfect, so we'll see. Alright guys, would you look at that? Wheel spacers, cheapest mod you can do to give your car a completely different look. Look at that, almost flush fitment. This side just looks so much better now compared to the stock fitment. You can just see how much tuck is actually on those stock wheels. So would definitely recommend that mod. I did 13mm in the front, 15mm in the rear, and it is perfect. I don't think I could have asked for a better fit, but just take a look at that again. Just absolutely perfectly flush fitment. Definitely worth the money. Fitment is just perfect. Definitely recommend that. Immediately add the spacers if you buy this car. It is a must. All right guys, well, that's gonna do it for today. It's like 110 in Arizona and I need a shower, so we're gonna call it here. We got the spacers on, we got a bunch of parts coming. This is just going to be a crazy build. I'm super excited for it. I'm excited to bring the camera along. You know, I'm excited to film this whole process. I'll give you guys a little sneak peek of what's coming next. In the next video, you'll see right there. There you go. So there you go, a little sneak peek. It's the FTP intake, a intake charge pipe combo. So we're gonna be installing that next time. Hopefully that makes those turbo noises just a little bit louder. So we'll see what we can do with that. And then in the next video after that, we should have some exhaust parts coming. So hit that subscribe button if you're interested in watching some of the new, future videos on this car. But until next time, thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.